In 2023, the mental health app market was valued at $3.7 billion. By 2030, it's projected to quadruple, exceeding $16 billion. This isn't a story of healing. It's a gold rush. And in any gold rush, the money dictates the methods. Leaked internal memos from venture capital firms like Sequoia reveal the chilling calculus at play, referencing sustainable recurring pain points as key investment criteria. They aren't funding cures. They are funding chronic conditions. The data is damning. For the most profitable apps, the customer lifetime value averages around $240. Yet, when users report feeling better, the churn rate is a staggering 89% within just 2 months. Conversely, users classified as engaged but struggling show a 73% retention rate after 6 months. The business model, from the very first round of funding, pivots away from helping users toward a single, overriding goal: retaining them. Your journey towards wellness is simply a metric on their dashboard, and your recovery is a threat to their bottom line. To ensure retention, these apps deploy a playbook stripped directly from the architects of digital addiction. They use variable ratio reinforcement, the same mechanic that makes slot machines so compelling, by randomizing notifications and rewards to keep you constantly checking. They weaponize the fear of loss with streaks for meditation or mood tracking, creating profound anxiety about breaking a chain that was designed to be unbreakable. A 2024 Stanford study revealed a causal link. The more a user engages with mood tracking apps, the more their ambient anxiety increases. This is by design. Eye tracking studies show interfaces are built to maximize time in suffering, keeping you focused on what's wrong. Push notifications are tested to find the most effective messaging to trigger engagement during moments of crisis, with data showing peak notification delivery between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., precisely when users are most vulnerable. They have turned your mental state into a game you are not meant to win. The most insidious strategy is not just managing existing conditions, but actively manufacturing new ones. These platforms engage in diagnostic inflation, systematically pathologizing normal human experience. Everyday sadness is reframed as subclinical depression. The stress of a demanding job becomes high-functioning anxiety disorder traits. A preference for quiet evenings is flagged as a social anxiety indicator. This is executed through a screening scam. The PHQ-9 and GAD-7, legitimate clinical tools, are warped by manipulative question framing. Questions are designed to maximize positive screens, guaranteeing a result that recommends continued engagement. A 2024 study in the Journal of Medical Internet Research found some of the most popular apps have a false positive rate for major depressive disorder as high as 78%. No app has a business model where the algorithm concludes, "You're actually fine, delete us now." Instead, they create a form of digital cyberchondria, convincing millions of worried well that they are sick, and that the only cure is a recurring subscription. If you are not paying for the product, you are the product. With therapy apps, you are paying for the product, and you are still the product. Every mood you log, every journal entry you type, every whispered fear you share with an AI chatbot is harvested. Your keystroke patterns can reveal agitation. Your voice analysis during a guided meditation is used for emotional profiling. This isn't anonymized data. It's a high-resolution map of your deepest vulnerabilities, sold to a $400 million shadow industry of mental health data brokers. Where does it go? Insurance companies buy risk profiles to adjust premiums. Employers purchase workforce wellness insights to subtly identify high-risk employees. Pharmaceutical companies receive data on crisis patterns to hyper-target ads for their latest drugs. Leaked documents confirm it. Your expressions of despair are being sold as market research, and predictive models are being built to determine your financial vulnerability based on your emotional state. It's the surveillance economy weaponized against the human psyche. This exploitative model victimizes both sides of the screen. The therapist gig economy is a disaster for professionals. Consider the dominant model. Therapists are often paid a fraction of what the user is charged. Sometimes as little as $30 for an hour a user pays $90 for. They face crushing quotas, sometimes requiring over 50 text responses daily, turning thoughtful care into a high-volume assembly line. Whistleblower testimony from former app therapists is horrifying. They speak of algorithmic client assignment that optimizes not for therapeutic match, but for user retention. They describe being penalized by the system for completing treatment too quickly, with bonuses directly tied to keeping users subscribed for longer. This inevitably leads to a massive quality collapse. Experienced, licensed therapists flee these platforms for private practice, leaving a vacuum filled by underqualified coaches, or, increasingly, AI chatbots presented as guided support. Real therapy, a process built on trust and a shared goal of recovery, is diluted to fit an economic model that profits from its failure. We are witnessing the birth of chemical imbalance 2.0. The therapy app industry is mirroring the playbook of Big Pharma from the 1990s. Create lifelong customers, not cures. Treat the symptoms indefinitely, but never address the root causes. Aggressively market to the worried well, and systematically expand the definitions of who needs treatment. The next frontier is the digital therapeutic, or prescription app. These are platforms that achieve a low-bar FDA approval, allowing them to be prescribed by doctors and, crucially, covered by insurance. This is the end game. Corporate wellness programs are already making participation in these apps mandatory to receive health insurance benefits. School districts are signing contracts to preemptively screen all students with preventive mental health apps. A 2025 Cochrane review, the gold standard for medical evidence, is anticipated to show what many researchers already suspect. There is no large-scale, independent evidence for the long-term effectiveness of these apps. Users experience a brief digital placebo effect that wears off after about 6 weeks, leaving behind only the dependency. So what about the thousands of 5-star reviews and tearful testimonials? This is the final layer of the deception, the recovery illusion. These success stories are propaganda, meticulously manufactured through selection bias and, in some cases, outright payment. Success, in the world of app metrics, is not defined as a user who has healed and no longer needs the product. Success is defined as high engagement and continued subscription. Notice the language in their testimonials. I still use the app daily to stay on track. I can't imagine my life without it. This is the language of dependency, not freedom. Real mental wellness looks like the opposite. It's a decreased need for self-monitoring. It's spending less time analyzing your own thoughts. It's building natural resilience that doesn't require a digital crutch. Here is the inconvenient truth these companies will never publish. The best long-term outcomes are consistently found in users who quit the apps. No venture-backed mental health platform publishes its true recovery statistics, because if they did, their business model would collapse overnight. How do you escape the trap? You must understand that your mental health app is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. The most radical act of self-care in the modern age is to commit digital heresy. Delete the mood trackers that amplify your anxiety. Replace the endless digital chatter with one real conversation. The touchgrass prescription is not a meme. It is a scientifically validated antidote to the disembodiment of digital life. True healing comes from engaging with the world, not observing it through a screen. It comes from moving your body instead of tracking your steps, from solving real-world problems instead of managing digital symptoms, from building a community of support instead of relying on an algorithmic match. Your recovery is their churn. Your dependency is their growth metric. Your vulnerability is their LTV. So ask yourself, your therapist should want you to eventually leave. Your app is engineered to make you stay forever. Which one truly has your best interests at heart?